I really do think that there's something wrong with me.
I'm ready.
Hello and welcome back to Nerddom. My name is Matt. Thank you so much for joining me today. And we are back into the horror sphere with Robert Eggers' newest film, Nosferatu. Yes, the smash hit Christmas movie of the Christmas season is out, and we watched it last night. And man, I feel like there's something wrong with me. I do, mostly because I wouldn't say that I'm in love with the movie. I have some problems with it, for sure. And I don't know if I'm being super harsh, critical, or if there is something possibly missing from the movie. Now, there might be spoilers coming up if you haven't seen Nosferatu, or if you're interested in keeping it spoiler-free, just be aware for minor spoilers coming up. Where the old Nosferatu dealt more about the husband character, this one is concentrated more on the wife character. And they also said that this was, I don't know if it was inspired by, but it seems very close to a story that Robert had Lily Rose Depp read during production, and the story is called Pehor. It's by French author Remy de Gramont, and according to Lily Rose Depp in certain interviews, she said that it is a story of a young religious girl who has a sexual awakening love story with a demon. Sounds familiar. This story is basically her character awakening a demon or a dark entity to be her companion, to be her love interest. Because, as she explains in the movie, she is just so lonely, so I don't know what else to say, that she was just lonely basically, and she wanted a companion. And you see at the very beginning, she prays out to God, out to whoever will listen, to come to her, to come to her. Nosferatu listens. He is awakened by this calling, and he is then obsessed with her and appears before her, and he takes her. Let's just say that. He takes her. Now, while I fully understand that this is a new take on an old Gothic tale, the story-wise is basically that. It is the story of sin, the story of possibly women's loneliness, especially in this time. The movie takes place in Germany in the year 1838, which is pretty crazy to think about way back then. Our country was only around 60 years old when this movie is taking place. Technically about 40 years old, so pretty crazy to think about this time and era. So I do understand that this story is about, like I said, her awakening this dark entity, and then basically herself having to deal with him, having to put an end to him. And it's not going to be her alone, but she has to be the one willing to do it. And so that's kind of the lesson of the entire thing, is this, classical moral tale per se. My biggest problem was my investment in the characters. I couldn't, for some reason, get invested in any of the characters. I was having a super hard time. I know that everyone was killing it, knocking it out of the park. Her physicality, Lily Rose Depp's physicality, and the way that she was moving really was like a Japanese horror film. And also, ironically enough, Isabelle Adjani's work in the movie The Possession, which kind of funny that she also played the same character in the 1979 or 70s version of Nosferatu. So I know that all of the people in the movie are knocking it out of the park, acting wise. You got Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult playing almost the same character that he does in many movies, honestly. Of course, Willem Dafoe killing it again. The Doctor, God, I forget that guy's name, but he's playing Galactus now in Fantastic Four, and what a better voice for it. There isn't any. There isn't any better voice for it, that's for damn sure. And then, of course, the man of the hour, Bill Skarsgard, who I think he does good work outside of the makeup and in the makeup as well. Outside of the makeup, you've seen him in like Barbarian and some other films. I mean, I'll forget about The Crow, that didn't come out. But then in the makeup, he is able to create such a menacing tone, voice, accent. Everything is freaking crazy. And the work that they did on the creature itself, the design on the creature, it's a very cool mixture of realistic depiction of that time and era and that region, and also the classic Nosferatu design that we know. It's a pretty crazy design. He is huge and menacing, but at the same time he's very frail and he's a dead body. So it's a very cool blend that they're doing there, and I firmly enjoyed the depiction of it. It's just, oh man, I just couldn't get attached to any of them. And it's possible that maybe I needed more time. Maybe I needed more time in the beginning and more sympathy for the character, more empathy for the character. So that introduction phase, I kind of wish we spent more time with Lily Rose's character, Ellen, a little bit longer. Maybe I needed 15 minutes instead of a 2-second, 2-minute blib, and then a jump scare, and then Nosferatu. Maybe I needed a little bit more time with her, showing her circumstances, and therefore giving me a little bit more insight onto why. Maybe they're thinking that because of the time and era that this is taking place, that you would automatically have that perception, especially of a young woman. But for some reason, I just needed more time. I needed more sympathy, more empathy for her. Probably my least favorite point is that if I'm not attached to the characters, then the whole movie kind of is just like a slog for me. It is quite slow and methodical. It can be seen as boring. It can be seen as boring. I don't think jump scares would have, more jump scares and stuff. I just think that my biggest problem is the horror was not there because my fear and my caring for the characters wasn't there. So, like I said, maybe there's something wrong with me, but it just wasn't. The acting, the visuals, my God, dude knocks it out of the park again. I don't know who his team is, but Northman was phenomenal, especially in the visual department. But this one, it really does blend a bunch of things that he's learned on the past shoots with Northman, with Lighthouse, and he's really bringing this old Gothic tale back. This is classic expressionist German expressionist type of movie. So the shadows. Everyone talks about the shadows in the 1922 original Nosferatu, the way that the sets are designed and the shadows. He does the same exact thing, but for a new era, for a new take, and it is phenomenal. I don't know how they do all the stuff that they do, the way that they shoot nighttime, the way that they shoot the desaturated look versus the super saturated looks in the interior with candlelight. Man, he has a freaking eye, I will tell you that. And it is phenomenal. And I think this movie, I can't think of a better shot movie this year. I really can't. The way that he's doing it, he truly has an eye for horror. And if you are a cinephile, if you are a photography, videography nerd, this movie visually will keep you interested and glued to the screen. This movie oozes artistry. And that is what I think is carrying a lot of the reviews. And I think that the melodrama that the actors are bringing to it too is what's carrying it. Not saying overacting, just melodrama. There's lots of spit, lots of hanging spit around. But man, I think Bill Skarsgård, killer performance again. Dude in a suit, but I still do wish there was something else. He is a vampire, pure darkness, pure evil, no sympathy whatsoever for him. He is a monster. And that's good to see too. And that's good to see. I'm kind of tired of vampires being sympathetic characters. I saw one person saying, oh, I wish it was sympathetic. I'm like, no, he is a monster. He is pure evil, pure darkness. And he is not the main character. Ellen is. So the whole movie surrounds her, not Nosferatu himself, or Count Orlok. But his Count Orlok is phenomenal, man. It is phenomenal. So if you're not interested in going to the movies, definitely check it out when it comes to streaming. I would suggest that super dark room. This is a very dark movie. And I feel like too, the theater lights that we were watching it in kind of were getting in the way of the screen because of how dark the movie is. So it was the, you know, the lights along the aisles. That light was actually on the screen. That's how dark the movie is. So it was kind of getting in the way. But man, great movie, visually, sound-wise, music, phenomenal. The problem with me is just the story. And that's it. That's it. That's the story. My attachment to it. Like I said, if there's something wrong with me, let me know down in the comments below. And let me know your thoughts on the movie Nosferatu. Nosferatu. I'm working on my Count mustache right now. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. Also, feel free to smash the like button. It really does help out the channel get pushed out to new people. And I would appreciate it greatly. But yeah, man, that's my review. Beautifully shot, beautifully made, classic Hollywood horror Gothic tale, but just couldn't get attached. Something wrong with me. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.